NHL Nightly with your host, the sports, a.k.a. Peter Lebowski, a.k.a. Jeremiah Maxwell. And with him, as always, maybe Pearlo, Wisdom, and Rico in Barry.
Hey, Aurelia, thanks for joining us. And everybody else out there, thanks. I am the sports beard, a.k.a. Jeremiah Maxwell. With me, as always, is Rico from Barry, our French correspondent, gambling aficionado, and beer league aficionado. This show is sponsored by Fans First Sports Network. Really glad you guys joined us. For some of you, Aurelia was just over with Off the Wall Hockey, where you watched the Flyers beat the Capitals in a shootout 4-3. Good game. Would have liked to seen a little bit better officiating there. And they called a 5-on-3 Rico in the second period on the Capitals on McMichael. It was the dog shittiest call I've ever seen. He didn't even touch the guy. They called hooking. It was awful. To put a guy on a 5-on-3, unbelievable. I was like, I knew the Caps were destined to lose that game anyway, but it was a home game for the Flyers. Caps are still in a playoff spot. I keep saying, man, Ovechkin's not scoring, but Max Pacioretty is waiting in the wings. So he's skating, get his wicked shot in that Capitals lineup. Going to be nice. Caps are bringing Ethan Bear up. Let's see what happens. So we'll see what goes on.
A healthy Pacioretty will definitely it's like acquiring somebody at the trade deadline in December. I mean, if he's back to full health, the guy's just a solid power forward. Excellent playmaker, good shot.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to him. Any games stick out to you tonight? Any games you want to talk about that might be on your brain that were wild and crazy that you'd like to discuss with the fans?
Dude, I was losing my mind earlier. Like, I just saw the Leafs. The puck was just popping off their stick. They try to make a play and slide away from their own stick. Like, that Domi, Gregor, and I can't remember who else was on that line at once together. And then Goudreau went right down the middle and just fired one right on Samsonov. It's like the seas parted for them. Like, Toronto did not come to play. And like you always mention, they play down to their competition. And I don't know what the hell Sheldon Keefe did in that second intermission, but he lit a fire under their ass. And even Guy Boucher, when they were down 2 with 1:26 left, he seemed pretty animated on the bench too, like telling the players, just getting them going and stuff. And of course, Mr. Captain gets them both to tie the game. So, I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of people that left, especially the corporate seats that got to work in the morning. The diehards were probably there still, but
you never leave a hockey game early. You never leave a hockey game early.
Oh, man.
That's the reason why, right?
Well, that, and we usually have some beer left to drink.
Or that. And you paid $12 or $16 for that beer at that game. So
yeah,
you definitely want to so I have 3 of the 4 remaining games on. I have not put on the Ottawa Senators Blues game. You said the score of that game was 4-1. We're not getting accurate scores from, I don't know if there's a problem with the NHL, but we're not getting half of the scores. So NHL.com. Scores are tonight as follows. Caps losing shootout to the Flyers 4-3. Kraken are winning 1-0 to the Blackhawks. Flames and Wild all tied up at 2. That game would be interesting to have on. Is that an NHL? What is that on? I don't know what that's on. I might have to get that game on.
Yeah, 4-1 Blues, 2-1 Lightning, the Carolina 1-2-1.
That's an important game for both those teams, I think. Oh, I think Edmonton just tied it. On the power play, shocker, again. McDavid, 2-2. Big shocker. Edmonton not scoring on a 5v5, but scoring on the power play. Their fans will go nuts in the playoffs when they don't win shit because they don't know how to play 5-on-5. Yeah, big shocker. Yeah, McDavid. Again, Cirelli doesn't get the puck out. McDavid just golfs it in. Wow, dude.
But, I mean, you're basically halfway through the game, and Tampa's only got 11 shots on goal.
I mean, they were up 2-0, though.
Yeah.
And I shouldn't talk too much shit because I think Tampa's first goal is on the power play, too. They're a very good power play team as well, are they not?
Yeah. Oh yeah, Jesus, yeah.
Yeah, they're maybe one of the best in the NHL.
Dude, they're probably both of them. Both of these teams are excellent on the power play.
Yeah, I mean Tampa's reeling. I said Edmonton all day long. You guys didn't want to take that one. And we said the Flames in Minnesota was all got tied at 2 as well. I think that's at intermission though. We're waiting on that. 9:35 left in the third. Yeah,
9 minutes left in the third. Yeah, in Minnesota. Yeah, 9:35.
Kind of like to see Minnesota keep going on their heater there too, but we'll see what's going on. The other games, like I said, Edmonton in the second. That's in the second now. That's halfway through the second, so that game's going to end real while we're live. That's why I put the jerseys up because there's no way we'll end the stream before this game's probably over. Vancouver kicking off tonight against Florida. Roberto Luongo jersey night. I thought it was a nice touch to put Luongo, who played most of his games with those two franchises. However, Pearlo said he was going to be late, and he's here now. So I thought it was hey, Pearlo, how's it going? Thanks for coming in on the stream. So if you saw me on the stream in the with John Duncan for the Flyers Capitals, I openly laughed my ass off when Columbus won in overtime just because, but I was rooting for Columbus because didn't Pearlo have the Jackets?
I did.
Yeah, and you won big, didn't you?
I didn't put a lot on it, but I probably should have put more.
Were you going nuts when the Leafs tied it to go to overtime?
Oh, I was not happy. I did have the over, though, too, but.
Well, that hit.
Yeah.
I hit a 3-shot parlay. I had the full game over. I had Zach Werenski to get a point, and I had Austin Matthews to get 2 points. 3-shot parlay, and I nailed them all by Matthews getting that last one.
Sweet.
So are you retiring then? What'd you get with that parlay?
Yeah, no. I put like $2 on it.
I'm mad at myself. Like I was so busy today that I got my picks in late, and I was like, I shouldn't do that. I should just say screw it. I'm not doing it today because I'm not having the best night. But,
hey, Edmonton's on the power play again.
I'm not having the best night either. I mean, I called Carolina to win, but I missed a lot of first period, both teams to score, especially in Ottawa and St. Louis. I thought that would be a little.
I had that.
But it
I
didn't
got the
happen.
draw in the Calgary Minnesota game, so I hope it stays like that. But yeah, interesting. And then of course you see the St. Louis Blues. They get that new coach, right?
You knew that was happening.
Yeah, and you know what? I didn't play it.
You knew it was happening. I talked about it last night. You know when they get a new team.
Well, I know, but they're such a bad team that I didn't know if it was going to make much of a difference, honestly. But it did for a game. So,
hey, so one of the fans in Off the Walls chat said the Blues fans were incessantly booing Jordan Kyrou because of his comments today. Did you hear what he said?
Yeah, they should.
The Blues fans were not happy because they loved Berube. They knew what they had.
Yeah, well, I don't want to say anything anymore. He's not our coach.
Yeah, I think he could have just said, "Hey, it sucks. We didn't play well. Edmonton's up 3-2. By the way, I'm gonna just not like Edmonton tonight.
I got Edmonton over, team total over. So yeah, I'm good. I got Edmonton, so that's gonna be good.
Yeah, they scored another power play goal.
Wow.
Yep. Yeah.
That doesn't happen that often, though. Edmonton.
No, I mean they never score power plays, and then we'll hear their fan base fucking crying like little bitches when they lose in the playoffs because they can't fucking play 5v5.
Tell me that's a Bouchard goal.
It is a Bouchard goal. You got a Bouchard goal. Did you have that prop?
I did.
I didn't.
Bouchard goal.
I put all my props in so fast today that I missed like so much. For some reason, I put in I do this little competition where I'm winning and it's like an NHL competition where you put in your picks, and I don't win anything or anything. I put in Carolina in regulation there, but I didn't put it in for actual pick. It ticks me off because I was just so busy. I haven't even seen how much I won yesterday. I've been so busy. I Look
Oh
at
my
that. I'm
God.
going to do it tomorrow.
The Bally Sports Minnesota just flashed up a real bad stat for both the Flames and the Wild in close games. The Wild are 1-4-4 or something in 1-goal games, and the Flames aren't much better. They're like 40. The Wild have a 11-10 win percentage.
Dude, I need the Ottawa St. Louis over, and Ottawa just scored. It's 4-2. I need puck line Jesus here. I need St. Louis to put an empty netter in.
Oh, I need that too.
134 left in that game, eh?
I need that too.
Yeah.
Who scored that goal for
Batherson?
Yeah. So I did find time to listen in on that stream. Friggin' John's a legend, man. He's awesome.
Yeah, thanks for popping in, man. I really appreciate it. I always try to pop in on stuff you guys are doing. So I know, Rico, you're not really from the stream world, but that's what makes you better. Pearlo was from this world. I think that Ottawa game, that's going to be over, right? What's up, Spicy 4K? Thanks for being with us. I really want Minnesota to win this, and you guys know I love the Flames too. I'm a big Flames fan. Gonna be both these teams. It's like you almost are like, wouldn't it benefit? That's what I was telling John tonight. The dichotomy of being a Capitals fan, where you're like, I wouldn't mind not making the playoffs, but like we're sort of playing like a playoff team. But they have
that game pissed me off too. I had Washington in that game.
Yeah, I mean, I thought we said draw. I said draw. I just felt like
I did have the draw. I had the draw.
Yeah, and that's what it ended up being. They lost in a shootout. But dude, that one Pearlo, I'll tell you, man, I seldom, like when it's my team, like if it's egregious penalty, like that just was one of the worst calls I've ever seen. Like that ref needs to be investigated. That was how bad that, and they didn't score on that 5-on-3 power play, but I mean, God awful.
Refs have bad. Refs do bad bonehead things, like just
and you
just
know what
like
I
any
find,
other human does, right?
and you know what I find that happens a lot in other leagues, but not in the NHL, is the ref talks to the other ref. The stripes get together, and one of them says, "You know what? I saw it, and it wasn't actually a penalty." That never happens in hockey, but you see it in other sports, especially football or basketball. They even get together.
Yeah.
I think that's
Enrico, I've seen this lately where the far guy makes a call and the guy standing there right there looking at the play doesn't raise his arm. How about you talk to the guy who was standing 2 feet from the guy? I agree with that so much.
That is one thing I do agree with when it comes to, for sure.
Yeah, we're aware, Andrew, if I know you're not new to the show, but normally I do have the scores up on the bottom there scrolling. And so if you're curious about scores, I've got them. And we know it's 3-2 Edmonton. I have that game on. If you look behind me, I also have the jerseys up, so we might be paying a closely attention to that game. Yeah, we're watching that game. I'm sure Pearlo has that one on in his girlfriend's house there, and yeah. No refs from the Sunday Rangers Kings game got bad. There was like 4 players in the box in the third. Yeah, I saw that. Leafs lost. Yep, we were talking about that too. If you were with us on time, we actually started the show 10 minutes late because I was streaming with Off the Wall Hockey. I laughed out loud on that stream when the Leafs lost in overtime because I just thought it was hilarious that first of all, why were they down 5-0 to Columbus? Nobody plays down to the competition like the Toronto Maple Leafs. And it's just so funny. Yeah, my first name is Jeremiah, man. I lead off with the show too, man. It's like not new.
I don't know what it is, but I know, sorry, Rico, but as much as I try, I just can't help but laugh at the Maple Leafs. I just can't help. I don't hate Toronto or anything like that.
Yeah, me neither. I want Toronto to win.
It's just so funny that they keep on shooting themselves in the foot. Like it wouldn't matter where they're from. It's just constantly they shoot themselves in the foot in so many ways. It's crazy. It's crazy. In games and in just constantly they shoot themselves in games and just in general. They fucking find a way to screw up every single time. It's weird.
Yeah, it's interesting.
It kind of mirrors my own team. Actually, I can say that about my own team too.
Doesn't Toronto have a losing record against sub 500 teams? It's just like in the last 5 years or something. It's some weird stat where they just don't play well against the dog shittiest of dog shit teams. And it's almost predictable. You can go Leafs loss. And Pearlo said it yesterday in our stream. Yeah, I've got the Jackets in that game. And you did, and I was like, "Oh shit!" I didn't pick the Jackets, obviously, but I just laughed. And they're down 5-0. They scored 30 seconds into the third period, Nylander, and I'm like, "Oh, okay, they ruined the shutout." And then the next thing you know, it's like 5-3, and you're like, "Oh, they might tie this game up." Once you get it to 5-3, you're like, you have a really good chance to tie the game there. Oh, Kuzmenko just scored for the Vancouver Canucks to put them up.
I didn't take a side in that game.
Yeah, that's a tough one, man. Both those teams are playing pretty good hockey, right?
I took the under. I thought Roberto Luongo in the building and might give the two goalies pumped up a little bit in the game.
St. Louis just like.
Oh, I know. We didn't get the over in that game.
Why is it so hard to score in an empty net? Why? You're right there. Like,
I know. I needed.
That's Rasmus Sandin, who got the puck put on his stick and missed an open net tonight in the game. Oh, dude. Another brutal play from that Caps game. So that game's final then?
Yeah, we didn't get the over.
No.
Well, by the way, Minnesota on the power play. 3:57 left to go in that game, all knotted up. So that's interesting. I got that game on. I will go final with the Ottawa game. There must have been a lot of stoppages in play in this game because I want to say it started the same time as the rest of the games. From that start time, Minnesota, which was like 5:30 maybe. And the fact that it finished before the Ottawa Blues game, I think they're in the central time. It's in the same central time zone, I want to say. Minnesota's in that central. Excuse me.
Yeah, that game kicked my ass a little bit for sure, unless I got some props.
Well, definitely the under in this one, huh? If you took the under, you're looking good.
I did not. Okay, let's see if I got my props, and then it could make it all better. Lots of shots.
Kaprizov almost scored there. Just deflected wide.
Nope.
So I have 4 games on. And they're cracking up 1-0 on the Blackhawks. Did you guys watch any of the? I just peeked over when I was doing the live stream on the Hurricanes Wings game. Boy, the Wings did jump out, tied it up, I think. But would have been nice to see them squeeze out a win. They're missing Larkin for a while now, it looks like, and then of course David Perron. Boy, you wonder if they end up losing all those games with those guys out, if they're like out, not out of it, but like, it's getting long. It's getting late early in the eyes of
yeah.
You could go back and watch it, Andrew. Just go back and watch it. It's on YouTube for everybody to watch. He doesn't charge for his stuff, so I'm not going to give you an opinion on somebody else's stream that I was on. Of course, I had a good time, and I thought he did a great job, giving the fact that it took the first period for him to figure out. So he uses Streamlab. And they just have changed. You have to have a PhD to use that program, man.
I that's what I was using.
Yeah, it's changed quite a bit. Well, you guys have seen how easy this StreamYard is. It's just like so much better. So, yeah, 1 minute left to go in this game here with Calgary and Minnesota. Only 2 minutes left. This Edmonton game is. Every time I look up, Edmonton's on the power play, but in fairness to Edmonton, they have 31 shots on goal, 32 shots on goal. Sorry. And, they're really taking it to Tampa, especially after the first period. Is the Kraken? Did I lose the Kraken feed?
Good. The Kraken scored.
Yeah, 1-0.
I need the first period over there.
Oh. Yeah, no. I asked Hot Take to come on and see. I wanted some Yeah, I asked him. He said he would come on, but I'm like, nah. He's like, yeah, I'm getting ready to go to bed. He's got a long day. I'm just like, nah, we're good. Catch him on a Friday or something when he doesn't have to work the next day or something. But how many times are the Leafs going to be down 5-0, come back, and then lose in overtime? I mean, they got a point out of it. Once again, though, Toronto can't win a game in regulation.
That is unbelievable. What's that, their 6th or 7th draw of the year? I think that's
their
more,
6th loss. And they have 6 wins in overtime and 6 losses in overtime.
The maple draws.
We're definitely going to overtime in this. There's 11 seconds left to go in this Minnesota Flames game.
Good. I need one more shot from Hyman. That should be good.
Yeah, I think you're hitting that, buddy.
Yeah.
Got a whole period left.
Yeah, that should be
so when Rico gets back, I wanted to talk. I don't know if you guys saw the news. Mike Rico had an article. Minnesota let go of their assistant GM, or they mutually parted ways. From what I got, there's definitely some conduct in the office where he did something he probably wasn't supposed to do or something, so they let him go. Just thoughts. I mean, that's been Minnesota, man, fires a coach. They got $14 million in dead cap because of those buyouts. Now, I'll say this though. I think Minnesota needed to make those trades. The one thing about Parise, though, if they'd have kept him and he's not in the league, maybe injuries would have kept him out and they could have LTIR'd that contract. And Suter's not playing terrible. He's still at the NHL level, but that buyout's hurting him. I think too, guys, obviously 8-year deals are the top of the end of the deals now, and that only the drafting team can give you, or the team you can, no, I'm totally. Sorry. Hot Take just responded to me, and I'm just like, no, man, don't come on. You're good. I knew he watched that Leafs game in its entirety. So when it was 5-1, he goes, cue the Leafs. What?
Tell him to come on and just rip the Leafs a new butthole.
No, he was only going to come on audio anyway, and I'm just like, nah, dude, I don't want to interrupt his night. He's probably with his lady and stuff, so it's just fine. We'll get next time. We'll get him next time. I just told him next time. Yeah. So,
how about Oliver Ekman?
Dude, how does McDavid not get a penalty for grabbing DeHaan's stick there? I mean, come on, man. Like, he ripped it out of the guy's hand. He couldn't play defense. That's fucking garbage. Like, I just love how they don't call shit on certain guys. Yeah, Pierre-Edouard Bellemare for the Kraken to make it 2-0. Thank you, Andrew Ford.
Oh, good. First period over. Beautiful.
Yep, there you go. Hey.
I got full game.
I would have taken the Kraken in this game anyway, coming off that big win, and they just needed it, man. They just need to keep winning. So I appreciate Hot Take Hockey. I appreciate you. So, yeah, we got a lot of games on, and everything's in the mixer. Overtime. Flames, wild control. Faber behind the net. I'll give you a little play-by-play here. Faber behind the net, throws it up to, I am so sorry, I do not know who. Oh, Eric Sinak, I apologize. I couldn't see the number. Eck throws it to Kaprizov. Kaprizov is so good with his that's such a nice move. He just could get around the goalie, the defenders. Kaprizov skating around. He's just skating around the ozone, drops it back off to Eriksson Ek. Eriksson Ek back to Kaprizov. Kaprizov chips it. He shoots it on goal. I think it was blocked by. I'm so sorry I couldn't see who it was. This is why it's so hard to call games from TV because you can't see the whole ice, right? So I have what John Duncan does is so amazing. I'll take hockey. John Vivero's also equally good.
It's quite the skill.
Yeah.
For sure. I'm no good at it at all.
Yeah. Well, you ever wanted to be a play-by-play guy, but us civilians that's the only job you get to do in sports. Hey, Darkness, I'm so glad you're here. I'm glad you came in, man. We wanted your opinion on
Hello, Darkness, my old friend.
He's a big Blues fan. He was advocating for Berube to be fired. He was on the other side of the fence there, and we didn't see you the night. You got to be happy. Get the names overhead app. I don't know.
I don't know anything about Bannister as a coach. He could be freaking fantastic for all I know. I have no idea. I know he did okay in Springfield by the looks of it. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, the names over the head app to watch the games, Rick. Yeah, that makes sense. That would be. I didn't know that existed. You'll have. I didn't know that. That's nice. That would be helpful. That would be super helpful. You still got to see though, if the guy doesn't touch the puck, who it is. So I'm sure that's what a lot of guys use. Excuse me. Yeah. Sorry, guys. I'm definitely. This will be a shorter stream tonight, just due to the fact that I've been streaming for 3 hours already. Not your fault, but it does look like. It does look like we're gonna get Edmonton already into the third. This Blues 250, 230 left in the overtime here in this Wild Flames game. Ooh, that should have been a slash. Hannafin got away with a little bit of a slash there. He ends up with the puck too. Yeah, if you're Tampa Bay, you're extremely disappointed because you come out of that period, you're up 2-0 and you're losing 3-2. That's a bummer for them. So that
Tampa doesn't like playing those late games.
They're not. There's something missing with their team this year for sure. They're just not playing great defensive hockey, and
I just heard their record playing those late games, especially from an East Coast team. I don't know if Tampa really likes playing late.
Here's Darkness's thoughts. I was happy Berube is a good coach. I will admit that, but I felt like his shelf life was up, and the timing was odd also. Yeah, no, firing him when they did fire him was interesting. But to hear Doug Armstrong's comments, did you hear Doug Armstrong's I just couldn't go another game where it's whoa, we had a great effort. We're shorthanded against that team. And I think he feels like his team is a little bit better than it is. I think Armstrong deserves a lot of the blame there. What do you guys think?
The guy's horrible. That's what I think. He's a terrible general manager. Armstrong is a terrible general manager.
He's not a great general manager with his name on the cup?
Ever since, yeah. But wait, that was the other Armstrong who went to Arizona. He built that team. This guy has totally destroyed it ever since he left. He's done given horrible contracts, signing getting Leddy and a whole bunch of guys that were bad already. He's really butchered the crap out of that lineup. So yeah, no, he should be gone. I would have kept Berube and fired him. It's not Berube's fault that he's got a roster that's just an absolute shit show.
Hey, before Rico gives his thoughts on Berube, I do want to acknowledge our resident Ottawa Senators fan, Gabby Oates, in the chat. He goes, Tal is very close to being thrown. Gonna rewatch Hamburglar highlights to keep my hopes up. Who is the Hamburger again? I can't think of his name.
Hammond.
Yeah, Andrew Hammond.
Hammond.
Yeah, Andrew Hammond. Yep, nice. The Hamburglar. Nice. Didn't he get free Big Macs for life or something? Wouldn't that be hilarious if he was like a homeless dude in Ottawa, but he just had like a pile of Big Macs because he was like,
Yeah.
because like yeah, no,
or he struck a deal with McDonald's to get hamburgers for life or something.
I
do
think
a
he did
commercial
get
for
a
him?
deal with like a burger deal, like a McDonald's deal or something. Anyway, ooh, I could go for a burger, man. Ooh, burger would be nice.
He's like Alex Lyon is the Hammond of today. Like, just he either looks like he's
Beard,
gonna,
what's your favorite burger chain? What's your favorite chain for a
Well,
burger?
In-N-Out, man, is so good. I love In-N-Out burger.
we don't have them.
We don't
here.
have them here. We don't have one here,
Oh,
but
fuck, we don't have those in Canada. That's not fair.
Carl's
we don't
Jr. is
have
pretty
We
good.
don't
I
have those in
proposed to
Canada.
I proposed to my wife in a Carl's Jr.'s drive-through.
The Carl's
So-
Jr. here is not good at all. No, it isn't. But that happens like sometimes, like the Canadian version, quite often. It's like A&W here was fantastic, and from what I understand, the United States is terrible.
No, A&W was really good back in the day. It's just the problem with them is they're gone. They're just not around anymore.
Oh, you don't have them all anymore there?
No, but like back in Montana, we had one where the girls would come out skating. You could get a shake, a malt. The burgers were real burgers. No, A&W is great, but they're just gone. They don't exist anymore. It's a whole
Yeah.
50s car where you pull up, where they had 6 or 8 pull-up spots, and you pull up and they bring the food to you. You have a tray. It was like, it wasn't drive-through, but it was like, I don't know, man. It was just different.
And then the tray went on your window, like your car window. The tray went on the side window, or
Yeah. The Andrew says McDonald's and Wendy's. Those are dog shit here. There's so many good, like Smash Burger, Whataburger. There's so many good burger chains in the States. We don't have Smash Burger. We do have Smash Burger here.
What about
We don't have
White Castle?
Whataburger.
How's
White Castle? I've only had White Castle once, and I had it in Vegas, and it was late at night. It was like whatever. It was fine. I didn't think it was. We like sliders though. They were solid. It wasn't bad. In the East, so it's really regional, right, Rico? So in the South, it's like Whataburger or Smash Burger. In the Northeast, it's White Castle. They love White Castle in the Northeast. For the most part, there might be another joint. In like California, or the Southwest, it's In-N-Out Burger, big time.
Andrew's like, I like them all.
Yeah, burger.
Or is there, okay, I guess the easier question is there one that you absolutely hate, like never go to, like never, not even if you're fucking hungry and starving, and no, I will not eat that.
So
I don't go to McDonald's.
So the Burger Kings here in Alaska are pretty ghetto fabulous. So I don't do Burger King really. And there are not a lot of them anymore. There's a McDonald's like not far from my house. They're everywhere. If there's a Taco Bell close to my house too. If I have a choice where I'm in drunk mode and I'm gonna eat some food I shouldn't eat, I'm probably going Taco Bell over McDonald's.
Oh, hitting a fry supreme over at Taco Bell with some beef burritos. The fry supreme is sick though.
Rick, they didn't do a 1,000-point video for John Tavares.
Oh, really?
That's weird.
That's probably Tavares himself that said that. Tavares was probably the one that said, I don't want to be celebrated.
That is weird. Why didn't they give him a silver stick, man? You got to do the silver stick. The silver stick for 1,000 points, or is it 1,000 games?
I think
1,000 games, not 1,000.
What do you get for 1,000 points? The gold stick? You get points. You get something for 1,000 points.
I think just a slap in the ass and a copy of the program.
Whoa, just look what Vladar just did. He did a nice little freaking kick.
What?
On his
That
belly.
thing's on intermission. What are you watching? Highlights?
Oh, that might have been highlights. Okay.
I was like, what are you watching?
I didn't. Yeah, it must have been highlights, I guess. I haven't been
Canucks
watching
just
that
scored.
game.
Canucks just scored. 2-0 Canucks. Yeah, I think it's the goal scorer is, give me a minute here. 81. I don't know who this is. Is that Joshua?
Who's 81
Oh,
for
Yamamoto
Vancouver?
had 2
I don't know
goals tonight,
numbers.
for the Kraken.
I don't know numbers, so I can't say.
Yeah, Joshua with the second.
Yeah, Joshua. There you go.
Joshua.
Thank you, Rico. I wasn't sure.
Scorpion saved by Vladar. Okay, that's Alex just put it in there. Yeah, that was. I don't know why he said just that. He said it was intermission, so I don't know.
No. If Vladar is playing, he's the goalie in the shootout, and it's 1-1 in the shootout.
Okay.
Here comes Matthew Boldy. He skates down, little side-by-side deke. He just ripped it top shelf over his glove side, Matthew Boldy, to put the Wild up 2-1 in the shootout. This is the 4th round, so the Flames must score. I'll give you play-by-play. So if Vladar made
Yeah, I just want to make this clear to you.
If I'm calling it for the people in the chat, you don't have to spoil it for them just because you're ahead of me.
Oh,
I
sorry.
2 hours from the nearest 2 hours from the nearest McDonald's, and then further to every other food chain. So I'm not biased. I'll eat at every fast food joint in town. I love them all.
Yeah, I don't mind them. I mean, the thing is that it's become so expensive to eat fast food anyway. It's like, what I mean. That's a big win for Minnesota, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just keep winning under their new head coach, John Hines.
Yeah, I got the Vancouver game on, then the Edmonton game's in intermission. Might switch over to something else.
Gustafson, is Vancouver in the second? No, they're still in the first. But the Chicago game is in the second here. So Rico, we
got both goals.
Rico, we didn't get your final thoughts on the Berube thing. That's awesome for Yamamoto, man. Good for him. Seattle needs him to step up because they lost some good players. I bet you if they asked Seattle if they'd rather have Ryan Donato or Daniel Sprong over Yamamoto, they'd probably rather have one of those two guys.
Do you think there's anything to moving? This just popped into my mind right now. Do you think there's anything to St. Louis moving Bortuzzo, then basically turfing Verana? Or is that the other guy they got rid of? What was his name?
Yeah, Jacob Vrana. Hey, real quick, Andrew said Canada lost to the U.S. in overtime. Is that the woman? Was that the women's matchup that they were doing, or
is that's not the World Juniors exhibition before the World Junior tournament? Is it?
Could be that. What was that for, Andrew? Little Caesars get it hot and ready and 6.5, and they're packed. Is that what you're saying, Doug? Doug is a Little Caesars guy.
Yeah. The hot and readies are beauties, man. They got a good thing going there.
We have one Little Caesars here. There used to be all over the place, and then this local place took over when they went out of business for the 50th time or whatever. You know who owns the Little Caesars chain, by the way? He's a hockey guy.
I was just going to say that's Little Caesars Arena where Detroit Red Wings play.
Yeah, the Illiches that own the Red Wings. Mike Illich. I think he's still alive. Or the Illiches, regardless, the family owns them. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, Andrew, let us know. It was women's. It was the women's. It's that. I think it was that they were just playing. It was like the women's best on best. They were just playing a little Canadian U.S. tourney thing they were doing. So, I think they were playing a series of games. So, it's not for anything of note. I mean, it's just so they can play another team of equal skill. I mean, it's basically when the women's come around, it's a complete and total upset if it's not Canada or the U.S. when it comes down to those things, right? So no offense to any of the other teams. I'd love to see some of these other countries. They're just not going to. So, but Rico, go ahead and finish your thoughts on the. I'll let Pearlo go, and then about the Berube.
I just found it weird. I found it weird that Bortuzzo went, then Verana went, and then not far after, Berube's gone. So it makes me think, was Armstrong just thinking of clearing out some players before the coach, or was that just a coincidence that just happened all at the same time. But when you think of it, how many guys are left on that 2019 team that played for St. Louis and won that cup? There's not many.
Robert Thomas. That's it.
Yeah, and Brady Shen and Binnington.
And Brady Shen.
But apart from those guys, I don't think there's anybody left on that team. I mean, Barbashev's gone. I mean, Sammy Blais, I think, still there, isn't he not?
Yeah, Sammy Blais was with the Rangers, got traded back, and is back with them.
Yeah. So, I mean, Bozak, Delzato, Dunn, all those guys. Edmondson, Fabry's gone. Carl Gunnarsson, I think he was there.
He's not there. I think he's in LA now, right?
No, yeah, he's gone. Like, yeah, I mean, so.
Parayko,
yeah. I mean, Perron was gone. We talked about that last night. I mean, Cairo was there, but there's a lot of guys that are gone. So I don't know. Maybe St. Louis just wants to kind of retool on the fly a little bit, and they think that just bringing in a different coach is going to change the mindset with some of the players that maybe some of the newer guys like Cairo and Thomas and that, maybe they thought that Berube wasn't communicating well with those guys and being able to bring them to the next level and stuff. And we just needed a new voice there. I mean, for God's sakes, a guy like Brandon Saad scored tonight. I wonder if he even liked Berube or not. It's hard to say. It's hard to say without being closer to the team there. You never know. St. Louis is just right in that murky middle right now. It's either they go one way or they go the other. And maybe Berube demands a little bit more out of that team, and he's just getting a little more frustrated when Armstrong thinks that maybe they're rebuilding, or obviously him and Armstrong and Berube obviously clash there as to where the team is going, I think, and what they think of their immediate future is and how to retool maybe. And obviously maybe didn't see eye to eye, and both of them move on, and Berube should be able to get another job somewhere.
No, I mean, I agree with Tim Peel and saying, you know, you're insane, Ottawa, if you're not trying to bring that guy into your team. I think he's a perfect fit for them. And that team needs it. And you know what's hilarious is they lost to the Blues tonight with their new coach. So Darkness says, and then I'll get to Doug's thing about I think he means Berggren. Thomas, Shin, Sundqvist, Blaze, Bennington, Franco. That's all that's left from the 2019 Cup. He says, Doug says Bergeron on trade watch for the Wings. I believe he means Berggren, right? That defenseman.
Yeah. Oh, he's a forward.
Yeah. Oh, is he a forward? Okay.
Yeah.
Perlo, do you want to join back to John? I don't know what he's asking there.
Oh. What's this?
I don't know what he's asking there. Andrew,
John
Duncan. I'm assuming he's talking about John Duncan. Perlo still does streams with other people, man. He still does streams he's not restricted with me. And I love Perlo. So when I snap at him, doesn't mean I'm not happy with him. But like if I'm giving play-by-play for you guys and he spoils it, no spoils in the chat, right?
No. Beard is awesome at putting me in my place, and I need to be. So that's why I'm here. Otherwise, I just run him.
Don't cry for him. He's a big boy, Andrew. He can take care of himself, man. He can come when he wants to. He doesn't have to come here. And I love Perlo. And Steve knows
I'll be on if you're asking me. I'll be on with John sometime this year. Maybe a couple times for sure.
Yeah, Perlo can do streams with other people, man. That's why we do this stream so late in the evening. I love Perlo. He's awesome at his props and bets. We always appreciate him on here. I just, sometimes I gotta let him know, hey, man. I have to produce loudly.
I think he knows me also because I used to do a show in the afternoon for like about a year.
Yeah.
So yeah, and that was with another group of people. Like John was part of it, and there was a few others. So
yeah, Steel Flyers. You were doing with Steel Flyers, right?
Steel Flyers. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. No, I would listen, man. I would come in and listen in and pop in. If you watch John's stream, man, I'm a fan of all the hockey streamers, and that's one of the reasons I like to do this show late. So when Hot Take Hockey streams, when Off the Wall streams, when Kim does her stream, Kim in the Crease. I used to go to Melody Martin's streams anymore. She unfortunately doesn't stream anymore. So
Funny, I just looked. I don't know if you do pro hockey rumors. Sorry about that, Rico, but we were just talking about Zach Parise. Apparently, he's wanting to come back and play for the half.
He's been trying to get in the whole year, is from what I understand. Just nobody has looked at him.
Now there's people interested, apparently.
Well, yeah, people are getting injured.
Yeah. What were you going to say, Rico?
Oh, nothing. I went back to that Berube thing. I'm just thinking, I bet you Doug Armstrong and Berube, they talk and stuff, and Berube doesn't want to rebuild. This is my first thought, that Berube wants to add players and he doesn't want to rebuild. And all of a sudden you got rid of Bertuzzo and Verana and just bringing in, future pieces for those guys. And I bet you Berube does not want to go through a rebuild with the Blues. And he's just, and I think that's why Armstrong left, because Berube is not a rebuild coach. I think he's maybe a win now coach, but somebody that doesn't want to just sit behind that bench for another 3 or 4 years while they retool to try to go for another cup. I don't.
That's a really good point, and I was thinking that as well. But that's a really,
because Berube's more of a motivator. To look at the type of hockey player he was. Like, he's a tough guy. He'll get his guys going. Like, he needs the right guys in front of him sitting on the bench that are able to win, that have the potential to win. And obviously St. Louis doesn't now, so he needs a couple other pieces there. And I think Armstrong's going the other way.
We'll find out at the deadline, right?
Yeah.
Frank Saravelli did an interview with Doug Armstrong over in Sweden, and Armstrong did say that if they were not in it, they would be trading. And there are definitely some pieces on that team that some teams that are in contention could use. Look at i.e. Ivan Barbashev last year. What a boon was he for the Vegas Golden Knights. And he just came in and was a little cigarette machine, like Biz likes to say, and knocked dudes around the ice all the time and scored some huge goals for the Vegas Golden Knights. And you're telling me a team like Edmonton wouldn't like to add some gritty guy, a Sammy Blais, if that guy's healthy, to their bottom six. I'm just saying, that's why I said, I'm not getting defeated as a Caps fan. Like, some of the pieces that we can trade away, even now with the Ethan Bear signing, there's some rumors that TVR or Nick Jensen are on the trade block. And they're Toronto could use a good puck moving defenseman in Jensen or TVR. I could tell you that he would fit in those lines. I'm just saying, both those guys are really good puck moving defensemen, but Andrew, I don't like doing 30 questions during the show. So I met Rico through Pearlo. So Rico and Pearlo know each other from the Ice Guys, and they're gracious enough to come onto this show. And I love having them on. So, but if you got specific hockey questions, that's great. But I just don't want to I've been streaming for 4 hours today, man. I just want to talk about hockey. So I appreciate you. Edmonton's back up, third period, 18 minutes left to go. That is still 3-2 in favor of Edmonton. Seattle, that second period has started. That's still 2-0. And we're in the second period now of Vancouver and the Florida Panthers. But Florida's kind of laid an egg the last couple of games, huh, Pearlo?
Yeah, it's that Western road trip is very tough. Very tough. You think, especially if you're coming from a place like Florida, by the time you get to Edmonton, it's dark at 5 o'clock at night here, and it is that's the same as Alaska, right?
Oh, I wish it was dark at 5 o'clock here. It's dark at 3 o'clock here, but
3 o'clock, right?
Yeah. Right now the sun comes up at 10:08 and goes down about 3 something. So we get about 5 hours of daylight. Yeah. So I will tell you, that all changes though here in 7, on the 21st of December, and then the days start getting longer.
Longer, right? But I mean, for these teams, it really is weird to come to a cold place where it's dark by 5 o'clock, and you got the time change, and it's a very difficult place to get up for a game for it in Calgary, Edmonton, and then So that Western road trip is really tough on teams, especially those sunny place teams like Florida and stuff like that. It seems weird thing, but I get it.
Yeah, no, I agree, man. The West Coast swings used to be murder. I mean, LA is good again, but Anaheim used to be really good. The Sharks were really good. You could go over, and now you can add Seattle and stuff. So, so I'm sorry, Rick. I don't know what you're asking me, man. You guys got to be specific in the chat. We can't read your thoughts, so you can write a paragraph if you have to. Well, we'll wait for Rico to get back here. I think for me, man, I'd like to just preview the games for tomorrow, and we'll call it a day. It's been a long day for me. You guys good with that?
Yeah,
yeah, buddy. Whatever works, man.
Okay, so tomorrow is Friday. We actually have a pretty nice slate of games for a Friday, 6 games.
Mm-hmm.
First out of the bat is the Anaheim Ducks are in New York to beat the Rangers. Oh, we're getting a little scrum here big scrum in the Tampa Bay Oilers game. But Anaheim Rangers, what do you like there, guys?
After the Rangers lost to the Leafs there, the way they played the other night, it's hard to go against them. I'd go Rangers, probably puck line, maybe first period.
Well, Rico, I thought it was really evident, though, that it wasn't brought up by the Toronto media at all, but that Keandre Miller didn't play because of a family issue. So Keandre Miller being out of that lineup is, Aurelia, thank you so much. Blackhawks scored. It's 2-1. Who got that Blackhawks goal, Aurelia? Thank you. Appreciate you.
I got a Blackhawks goal prop. Tell me it's who I think it is.
Connor Bedard? Is that who you? I mean, that's the only prop.
No.
Oh, you got
Donato. Tell me it's
Donato.
Ah, Radish. Fucking Radish.
Radish. Sorry,
vegetable.
buddy.
My favorite vegetable scored.
I do like some radishes.
Radishes clean you right out, bud. If you've eaten too much fast food over at White Castle, eat a bag of radishes. It'll clean
you guys got White Castle and Barrie? That's a good spot.
No, we don't. No, we don't.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying White Castle.
I don't know who's going to be in net for that game, but the way Shesterkin's been playing, I like the over 6, and I think Rangers puck line.
Okay, last 10. Ducks are 1-9, and the Rangers are 6-4. We can't overthink this. This is the Rangers all day.
Yeah. I can't take.
Jonathan Quick's going to be in net. He still hasn't lost in regulation.
Yeah, Jonathan Quick's been better than Shesterkin.
Yeah, is it going to be quick, or is it going to be? Is it going to be quick though? Could be quick. So then I really like the Rangers. I like the Rangers for sure.
Yeah, because the Rangers play in Boston the next night. Quick.
That's the thing I don't like. I was just going to check that. It could be a look-ahead spot for them. Do they really give a shit?
Doug is saying the same thing. Are the Rangers going to look ahead of the Bruins? You know what, man? I think we overthink this sometimes. This is the Rangers all day. By the way, Kraken just scored Oliver Bjorkstrand to make it 3-1. Yeah. Okay. Did you have a shot?
You say you overthink it, but I'm telling you, I've been burnt by it more often than not. I had to.
So what about the under, Pearlo? What about the under? Both teams tighten up a little bit.
Yeah, I like the under because Anaheim plays a good defensive team.
They do.
So I'm good with that. Yeah,
I could see the Rangers.
John Cooper has a look of bewilderment on his face. Is Edmonton going on the power play again? No, they are not. Okay.
I can see the Rangers getting up early and then shutting it down.
Okay, so we've spent way too much. We've already spent more fucking time than I want to spend on the fucking Rangers and Ducks. Okay, Sharks at Coyotes. Sharks at Coyotes.
It feels like a draw to me.
How the hell did we get that far down the slate?
No, well, I don't know why I have it here. I'm sorry. Ignore Sharks at Coyotes.
Well, you know what? Arizona's on a losing streak, and I like Connor Ingram, and I'm taking the Coyotes.
Yeah, Coyotes.
Sharks are playing with so much heart right now. It feels like a draw. So I'll say
okay. Bruins at Islanders.
Again, they got the Rangers after this too, right?
Yeah. Islanders have been playing good hockey, dude. Actually, Bortuzzo, I was going to bring that up. That has been helping them out because of their injuries with Pelican shit out. And now the Islanders have looked good. By the way, Islanders are 7-1-2 in their last 10. Not too shabby.
And
they came back and won. And Bruins are 5-4-1 in their last 10. I like the Islanders.
Some people are calling them the New York Dry Islanders. Draw Islanders because they draw too.
They draw constantly. Give me the draw in this.
Okay, draw.
Give me the Boston against a New York Shaved Faces draw.
Okay.
Doug saying you fade. Okay. Predators at Hurricanes. Hurricanes played tonight in Detroit, did they not?
Yeah.
I like the Preds.
And
we'll answer your question after we do the games, Aurelia, because I do want to talk a little about the Buffalo Sabres.
This is going to be third game in 4 nights for the Carolina Hurricanes. I like the Predators in this game. Maybe early or late. No, maybe Carolina first period, but maybe Nashville to win the game. Carolina's wins are going to.
Preds are 7-3 in their last 10. Hurricanes are 5-4-1. Hurricanes don't look good this year, man. They're just not good.
There's another draw if Sorrow starts. That might be another draw game.
The Canes won 2-1 tonight, and it looked like it took everything it was for them to win. And the Red Wings are missing Larkin and Perron. I mean, add those two guys into the lineup. I think the Wings win that game easily. I do not like the goaltending from the Canes. So anyway,
yeah, especially if Rant is going to be in net for that game, I take the Preds.
I think it'll be Kochekov.
Yeah, I don't know who played tonight. So okay, Ottawa at Dallas.
Oh no, it will be Ranta.
Okay, definitely. I like. You just convinced me more to take the Predators then.
Yeah.
If there's a goalie in the definition of mid goalies, Antti Ranta is in the picture of the dictionary. Senators at Stars in Dallas.
I can't. It's on a back-to-back. Yeah, it's.
I like Dallas all day long in this. Although Dallas struggling though, 4-4-2 in their last 10.
Struggling hardcore, yeah.
Yeah, but the Sens aren't good.
Oh, they've been playing better,
and the last game of the night is Aurelia's Sabres in Vegas at the Golden Knights. I hate to tell you, Aurelia.
Oh, no, that's horrible. Yeah, it's
VTK all day. Watch the Buffalo wins. It's a Jack Eichel revenge game against Jack Eichel. Buffalo wins.
By the way, nobody's talking about it, but I don't think Granato makes it to the end of the year.
Oh, Dom Granato. I thought you were talking about Tony Granato. I'm like, Pearlo, that's brutal.
No, I'm talking about the coach, Granato. Yeah.
Be specific, bro.
Wow. I
got you. I got Rico to laugh, so it was worth it.
Yeah. I don't think he makes it to the end of the year. Like
we're all on VGK. I want to end this stream, but we're all on VGK. Oh my God.
Right? The freaking Lightning tie it up. Are you kidding me?
I like that Isimont guy. Who scored for them? Oh, you're way ahead of everybody. Is this a Nick Paul goal? I have Nick Paul.
I believe that. Stamkos puts it out.
Oh, Stamkos.
Stamkos, yeah. Stamkos.
That's his second goal of the game.
Knocks it out of the air.
Tampa. All right. So Aurelia goes, I'm a Sabres fan. I've been disappointed, but we've been plagued with injuries. Do you think we still have hope? It's getting late early, Aurelia, with them. I mean, they got to keep winning games. Right now, the standings. I'll pull the standings up for everybody to see, and we'll just talk about the standings, and we'll say who's in and out, and then we'll call it a night.
Granado has not been able to get that team to play defense the whole time he's been with them. And so
something's missing there, right?
Well, they're very green, but I mean,
they're the youngest team in the league, are they not?
Yeah,
that's going to say they need more veteran help.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah,
that's with Kyle Pozo on. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna see that.
More veteran help.
All right, here we go. All right, here we go. Here's the standings. I got them. I don't know. Let me zoom in. Let's zoom in. We'll just zoom in like big time so we can read them big time. Let's go. One more. Okay. All right. So I have it. I'd like the wild card view. I think this is the best. You've got Boston, Toronto, Florida. Okay. I doubt those. I think those could change. Toronto, to me, ends up being a wild card team just the way they're playing. Rangers, Islanders, Flyers. I could see any of those two teams falling out as far as Islanders, Flyers. Red Wings, I think they're in the mix. Carolina should be, right? New Jersey. Buffalo is at 27 points, Aurelia. Like I said, if they just go on like they win 7 of their next 10 games, they're right back in the mix. So they definitely have the team. I do always get worried, and Pearlo's not wrong, when you see this negative number in the goal differential. I just always feel like if you give up more goals than you score, you're probably not a great team. And you look, Blue Jackets, them, Montreal, Tampa Bay, even New Jersey. The Capitals are -9. That's why I think the Capitals won't be there in the end either. But you never know. Like the insertion of Pacioretty could help. Anybody that's single digits under, I don't think it's a big deal. Like the Islanders, they're notoriously not a big scoring team. They never are. But they'll get there. So what are you guys' thoughts there? Buffalo.
I think Philly's going to be out. I think Washington's going to be out. I think you insert the Devils or Carolina, maybe both of them into the Eastern Metro, and then maybe it could be like Tampa and Detroit as the wild card teams there.
What about the Penguins? They'll
be fighting with Detroit for the final wild card.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing I'd say about Pittsburgh is Crosby's playing well, but that's about it for them.
Yeah.
In the West, we have Colorado, Winnipeg, Dallas, Vegas, Vancouver, Los Angeles. I think the Kings catch the Canucks, but I think the Canucks are in the top 3. I think people that are talking about the Canucks in the top 3 are just done. Like, the Canucks are plus 37. They're one of the best two-way teams in the league. They have some of the best goaltending. I think if they continue to add, it's not a big deal. So, I do see Edmonton making the wild card, which is brutal for anybody that has to play them. But again, anyway, it'd be interesting. So
I think everything's pretty much set there. Edmonton inserts themselves into the wild card over Nashville, Arizona, and Calgary. I think are going to be
right now the Blues. It's the Blues and Nashville. They're in the 2 wild card.
Yeah.
So St. Louis is out.
Yeah.
Edmonton's going to have to catch Arizona, I think, and they're going to catch them tonight if they win this game. So,
I don't think Nashville or St. Louis are going to be in there. So,
you think Arizona and Edmonton or Minnesota I mean, you look at where these teams are.
I think Minnesota, unlike there's lots of people that don't like Hines. I personally think Hines brought some Nashville teams to the playoffs that had no business being there.
That's
and I think
very true. I agree with that.
I think he'll do that with Minnesota. Here, I gotta say though, Calgary is really surprising me. They're playing better than I thought that they would play. But if I had to take one, I'd say Minnesota gets in, and of course Edmonton as well. And both of those teams are. I think St. Louis and Nashville is going to pooch out. As far as Carolina, they've had a horrible schedule so far. They've got a much easier schedule the rest of the way. So I think that they'll easily make it in. Easily.
You know what's funny about Arizona? On November 25th, they beat the Golden Knights 2-0. They beat the Tampa Bay Lightning on the 28th. They beat the Avalanche on the 30th. They beat the Blues on December 2nd. And they beat the Capitals on December 4th. The last 5 Stanley Cup winners, Arizona just ran through and beat.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think people that are sleeping on Arizona are not smart, but like we talk about their defensive depth, and it's got to hold up, and they're 5-5 in their last 10, and they've lost 4 in a row after doing that incredible run against.
I don't think that defense is going to hold up.
No, but I was just saying it's kind of interesting that they did that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. They've got a wizard of a coach there, though. That guy is freaking. They shouldn't even be.
Andre Cherney, very good.
That's what I'm saying. Like firing Berube, St. Louis shouldn't even be close to a playoff spot right now with that roster. Not even close.
Well, they're in the second wild card right now.
And I'm saying they shouldn't even be close. So you're
but
firing
if Edmonton wins tonight in regulation,
who took a ragtag roster up until now and has him in a playoff spot. So
St. Louis has that kid from my hometown, so I got a sneaky little inside love for St. Louis Blues going forward. So
yeah, neighbors, right? Big neighbors.
No, Tyler Tucker, the kid.
Oh, Tyler
Tucker, right? You said that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we previewed the games. We talked a little bit of playoff. I really appreciate everybody that came out. Thank you so much to all the people, Aurelia, Doug, Andrew, everybody. Special thanks to Off the Wall Hockey tonight. Had a blast in you. Rick Smith, appreciate you. Darkness. Gabby Oates, Doug, everybody, thank you so much. Appreciate you. We will see you tomorrow at 10 p.m. Eastern for NHL Nightly. Thank you for being with us.
Beard's been streaming for like 8